Welcome back, Stingers. So in my book, Rise from the Ashes, Scorpio's Guide to Self-Esteem and Rebirth, I talk about false power and I talk about finding out someone's true nature, the moment of finding out someone's true nature. Now, I never ever believe someone's personality until this happens. The true character of a person doesn't really come out in the beginning. It doesn't show its face. And it definitely doesn't come out when everything is happy and lovely and fun and exciting. Unfortunately, the true essence of a person comes out in crises, in trauma, in frustration, in anger. And these are the moments when I really, truly pay attention. There's something about a Scorpio's presence. It's that Pluto-Mars energy, a combination of depth and aggression and the unveiling, the breaking down the outer layer to the point of exposing your true intentions, your inner being. And a lot of these things you may not even be aware of. And this is why it's so important for you to have a Scorpio in your life. As scary as it may be to many of you, it's really important that you break yourself down. And this is the purpose of my book, is pulling back all of the layers and eradicating things that no longer serve you, introducing yourself to all of the walls that you've built, why you've built them, what your traumas are, how you create defense mechanisms to protect yourself from fear, feeling trapped or feeling like you're going to be harmed. All of these tiny little moving parts that create a personality of yours that may be deep in your subconscious, right? And so this is my message to Scorpios in particular. You know, a lot of you are not really in tune with yourselves yet, but you will be when you take my 45-day transformation and you start nipping at the bud, right? But a lot of you may be in a space right now where you're not really in tune, you don't really know yourself, you're trying to get in these intimate relationships, and a person has their whole facade going on. You meet their rising sign and you have all sorts of ideas of who you think they are, what you think they are, whether that be some deep, quiet person that they portray, or the shy person, or the loud person, or the confident person, of whatever it is. And you start believing that and you build your whole entire vision of who they are based on that. Well, what I like to do is wait till a crisis happens, wait until some type of disturbance happens. Now, this doesn't have to be major. No one has to die in order for you to see a real personality come out. But as you guys remember in my book, if you've listened to the audiobook or read the paperback version, there were a couple of scenarios in my life where I was out of my jurisdiction. Out of my jurisdiction means a myriad of things. Out of my environment, and that can mean right here in New York City. That could mean I'm in a different borough, like I'm out of my jurisdiction. And so, you know, I may not have the support that I need, the friends, the backup, this, that, and the other. I may be outside the country, outside my state, outside my environment even, you know, working in a whole different atmosphere where it's not my comfort zone. So there's been scenarios, many in my life and many in your life, where you've been out of your jurisdiction. And, you know, a person, maybe someone you're dating, maybe you move to their country with them or move to another state with them, and it's not your comfortability, and they know this. Now, a lot of different things can come out, and this is the test. You know, this is the internal test that Scorpios, whether they realize it or not, inflict upon others, is how you handle these situations. In my book, Dating Scorpio, I take you through a relationship where I was completely out of my jurisdiction. I was halfway across the country. My father was dying at the time. I was completely not myself. I wasn't focused. I was just unraveling. I was really vulnerable in a lot of ways. I didn't have the right finances that I needed to have. There were so many restrictions upon me, and I felt very trapped in many ways. And there was a specific person who took advantage of that situation so that they can benefit. Now, in that moment, I realized who they were. Not any moment before that. Not he with me. Oh my gosh, we're so cool. We have so much in common. Like, none of that matters, guys. And I want you to be really careful with who you give specific information to, right? Because within your life, you're going to be in these situations. You're going to be, maybe you just had a baby and that's a really vulnerable situation. You have to depend on your partner, your husband, or whomever, a family member, to take care of you, to, support you emotionally, physically, financially. Maybe, you are new at a company and you meet somebody and they have all the answers and you don't know what to do. You're going to be in positions of vulnerability many times in your life. You're going to feel trapped many times in your life. You're going to have to exert fake power many times in your life. And I want you to really pay attention to these moments, not the moments beforehand. I always say my friendships never start until there's some sort of breakdown, some sort of crisis, some sort of disruption that really pulls from them their real personality, because you may not know who that person is until you're in a situation where you both have no money and you're stranded on a desert island. Does the blame game start to begin? Do they start cussing you out? Do they start going off? I told you guys about many other stories in my life where situations erupted and somebody was like, oh my gosh, I'm smarter than you. Like, they showed their face, honey, and I just let them do it. I sat there and I was like, ooh, let me let this all unravel, because now what you're doing is exposing how you felt about me like all these years, And so I want you to be careful of the information that you give. And the information that you give, mainly pertaining to like your family or your situation. You may be in a situation where you're not close with your family at all. You don't speak to your parents, your siblings. You've disowned them. You've left the house, left the country, left the state. Giving that information out puts you in a very vulnerable situation, because that person can use that against you later. You can be in some sort of crisis. They know you have no family. They know you have no support. They know you have no friends. They know you have nobody, honey. And they may be the only one, or proposed the only one. Now, in my book, Dating Scorpio, please, guys, for those who've read the book, don't tell what it is in the comments. I want others to experience the story for themselves. But I want you guys to really be wary of giving out that information just to anybody. Sometimes you may feel like you want to be close to somebody and tell them all this stuff. And that's the first thing people do usually when they try and bond, is talk about their family problems, especially if you're young. If you're like teenage or 20s, you're like, oh my gosh, I hate my parents, blah, 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 blah. And then someone may use that against you, like, well, don't worry, she has no parents anyway. She has no support. She has no family. Right? And that can become very dangerous in a lot of ways. Also, information like that, you'll begin to see what type of individuals you're dealing with. I remember, and this is in Dating Scorpio too, so I don't want to give it away. There's actually a myriad of instances and a couple of zodiac signs. You'll see that there's so many more that didn't make the book, but you'll see a couple of people, I've told them things and then they came back with some really ugly words. A lot of people will come back and attack your family, will say all sorts of different things, and you're just like, wait, what? You know what I mean? Later on, and kind of use that, meanwhile hiding all their stuff, right? So in these moments, of attack, of crises, of disruption, this is who that person really is, truly is. I don't know, I think, it's said that it takes maybe a year for the mask to fall off, and a lot of you guys fall in love so quickly. Oh my gosh, I see your messages, I see your DMs, I see your commentary. we've been dating 3 months, we're so in love. Like, you don't even know that person at all. You don't know anything. You don't know their family structure. You don't know those relationships. You have to be around those people. What I love to do is I'm a public person. And what that means is I love to take people out in public. I want to see them in their own environment. Like, if I meet somebody and they're in New York, I want to see them where they live. You know what I mean? There was a specific person who's always in New York, but when I went to their state and I saw them in their environment, ooh, they were entirely different, honey. They were entirely different. And the real version of them emerged, you know. I love to see people in their comfort zone. There was a double Leo who had a Pisces rising, so she did the whole baby voice thing, the whole quiet thing, the whole, I need help, this, that, and the other, that I didn't fall for, by the way. And when I was around her and her friends, ooh, did that lion come to life, honey. And actually, she forgot that I was around because I got so quiet that I became invisible. And I saw the bossiness, the arrogance, you know, the I need attention and everything else all come to life. It was absolutely amazing to see. And I was like, that's who she really is in her most comfortable self. So I want you guys to take away from this video, I don't want you to be paranoid, but I want you to be very cautious and protective of yourself. And when you go through my 45-day transformation, you'll start to chip away and break down all of these things. And within that, you'll start to build an amazing relationship with yourself, and you'll have healthy boundaries. You'll be very protective of yourself. You know, information that I give out is nothing that I haven't told other people. I'm very protective of myself. I'm careful with my words because they mean so much. They have so much power behind them. And I'm always looking for the realest part of an individual. And if anything hasn't come up that has forced that person out, I don't believe anything else that they're telling me. Alright guys, like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. I'll see you at ScorpioSunScorpioMoon.com, where you can order the paperback or audiobook version of my books, Rise from the Ashes, The Scorpio's Guide to Self-Esteem and Rebirth, and Dating Scorpio. They're also available at Namaste Bookshop here in New York City. Also, Aum Shanti Bookshop here in New York City, both on 14th Street. You can also book on my website a mastery chart reading where I go through all your personal planets. I tell you what they mean to you, so you'll never have a question about what does my moon sign mean, what does my Mercury mean. You won't have any confusion whatsoever. I tell you about your love life, what you really need in a partnership versus you just being sexually attracted to someone. And I give you your karmic matches, their birth dates, your best matches. I give you all the birth date information so you can look out for those. I tell you exactly what they mean and what their importance is in your life. Sometimes people come to your life and you swear by this whole soulmate thing, and I know exactly what it is. I know if it's a Pluto relationship, a Mars relationship, a Moon relationship, a Jupiter relationship. I know exactly what it is, and you should treat it accordingly so that you can get your transformation out of that instead of trying to create something that's never going to be. Also, I go through your challenges, what your superpowers are, so you know how to use them to your advantage, and how to compartmentalize your traumas and how to deal with that. Also, I show you how to actually just make the best of your chart, how to use all your planets to your advantage and get what you want. You can also book a personal live stream session with me if there's something you want to discuss about relationships, astrology, Scorpios, etc. My shop is amazing. You can get this. This is my newest piece, which is the Phoenix, the highest level of Scorpio that we're all striving for, of course. And my sale items are an additional 40% off using the code RealScorpio. I will be hosting my first ever book signing meet and greet at Aum Shanti Bookshop. They're at 230 East 14th Street here in New York City. I'll put all the information in the description of this video, but it's this coming Saturday. I cannot wait to see you guys. I'm going to be talking about my books, how I came up with the idea to write them, what message I want you to receive, my purpose, my intentions. I'm going to be answering all of your questions, all the questions that I don't answer on YouTube. I don't know how many events I'm going to have, but probably not many. So I'm really excited to see you guys face to face, because you've been seeing me on camera for many years. I haven't seen one photograph of you guys, so I want to see you, and I want to hear everything that you have to say, and I want to hear your questions, and it's going to be a really cool event. I'm so excited. So mark your calendars for March 12th, 2 p.m. and I'll definitely see you guys there. All right, guys, I'm on Facebook, I am on Instagram, and I think that's it. I'll see you soon.